Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It's V here. Thank you for checking out this video. This one is titled What Germany Can Teach Us About Home Energy. Yeah. I think they have so many things to do with home energy. I saw a video recently how they were talking about how they literally generate their own heat from inside the house, and stuff like that. But it's quite you know it's quite a difference. Okay, let's get right into this video. But remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and let us see this.
Well, Kevin, welcome to Frankfurt. We're here in the market square. They call this the Römer, the half-timbered buildings, so typical of a market square. You can see the church and a town hall called the Rathaus.
Looks like a postcard.
It does.
And I bet you a lot of people think of just this when they think of Germany.
That's right.
The historic buildings, maybe a beer garden, even some lederhosen probably.
Yeah, I mean, I look really good in lederhosen.
Yeah, I doubt that. But you've been coming to Germany for 30 years, and that's not the way you think of Germany, not as a postcard.
No, they are a leader in home heating efficiency, and it caught my eye many years ago. Many people would argue that they are the market leaders in home heating, energy efficiency, and renewable energy, and I'm dying to show you just what makes them different. Germany is one of the larger countries in the European Union, but it's still only about half the size of Texas. Once you get outside of the big cities, farms are still dominant, and people cluster their homes in villages that date back to the Middle Ages. Well, Kevin, I brought you to something you don't see a lot of in Germany, and that's a new subdivision of new construction. But it lets you understand just how they build the house. You can see concrete block construction that'll be covered over by stucco, the beautiful German windows, and then the clay tile roofs. But look at this, you also see something on every single roof you don't often see, and that's solar. Either solar photovoltaic to make electricity or solar thermal to make domestic hot water. And that's because the government has passed a law that says 30% of the energy consumption on any new building has to come from renewable energy. That means solar, that means geothermal, or using biomass, wood pellets.
That's really aggressive.
Absolutely. What they're looking for is energy independence. You see, they have got no fuel of their own. They buy their oil from the North Sea, or they buy Russian gas, and that's always fraught with issues with price and availability. So they're looking for energy independence.
Well, what about nuclear, though? Because Germany is known as a big nuclear producer.
That was once the case, Kevin. They once had 17 nuclear power plants around this relatively small country, and now they've challenged themselves. They're going to be free of nuclear by 2022. That's only 7 years from now.
So not a lot of natural resources to start with. What they are making nuclear, they've decided to get rid of.
That's right. And what it leads to is the idea of energy independence, where on every single residential roof they want to have local electricity generation. Every single flat roof, every supermarket is covered in photovoltaic panels to make electricity, and every ridgetop seems to be covered with some wind generator. Nestled out here in the middle of farm country, you can see this beautiful little village. About 850 people live here. You really get a sense of how close together the houses are.
Right.
Now, this is not a new village. It's only about 1,100 years old.
Really?
That's right.
Wow.
But I brought you one of the new houses. This is only 120 years old. You can see solar up on the roof.
Yep.
I'm dying to show you inside, though. Well, welcome to a typical German mechanical room.
Wow. Are you kidding me? This place is cleaner than my kitchen. Right. Holy mackerel, it's spotless. No wonder you're so at home in these places.
These people take mechanical rooms seriously. They prioritize them over kitchen countertops and fancy windows.
Apparently.
All right, so let me take you through what's going on here. This is a heating boiler to heat water. Now, this is oil-fired because we're out in the country, but it could be gas. But this is not the principal way that we heat water for the building. That's done here through a pellet boiler. Instead of burning oil, we burn these. These are locally grown trees that get debarked and then extruded out into these pellets.
Now, I recognize the pellets. We use these back in the U.S., but I often think of it as sort of a pellet stove. It's in a room. It's kind of local heat, but here you're talking central heating.
This is a heating boiler, and there's major industry to get it here. There's a truck that delivers it. There's a conveyance medium that sends it through a blower down into the unit right here. There's a hopper inside here. There's a modulating burner that can fire up and down as necessary. So now you're not going to stop and start this like an oil or gas burner. So once you get it going, you have to do something with the heat you make. So in that case, the heated water leaves, comes over here into this super insulated storage tank.
Wow, look at that monster.
So this is really a BTU battery storing energy that's going to be used for either heating of the building or helping with domestic hot water.
Okay, so eventually we're sending this up to radiators, I presume?
And this is...
Now, I would like to know if this technology is in every home. Do you have it in your own home? And they talked about, living, not depending on nuclear energy and creating their own source, like using solar. I'd like to know if, um, I'd like to know if that has been achieved. Like, do you have solar in your home as a person, or you have other source of generating energy in your home? It's such the technology that I'm seeing in this video is so mind blowing. Like, and I think this is a massive tank to be sitting in somebody's house to generate heat. But then, if it is something that you need, yeah, it has to be there so that you can have what you want in your house. Yeah.
mixing valve right here comes to a single circulator pump, not 5 of them, just one. Super efficient circulator pump, pushing water through this pipe right here. At every radiator, there's a local thermostatic radiator valve that makes every radiator its own zone.
Wow, so we got a lot of zones upstairs,
Absolutely.
even though we've got one pump
That's
down
right,
here.
and super efficient.
Very cool. So if this is going to the radiators, how are we getting hot water to the showers and the faucets and stuff like that?
Well, there's another tank closer to the showers in the building, and what that is, it's connected to solar. Now, solar sends its energy down through pipes to a coil, heats up the water in the tank. Now, this tank is supersized and super insulated, so even if there's no sun for 2 or 3 days, you still have plenty of hot water.
It could go that long.
Absolutely. But if it ever got to the point that you needed some backup, we come back to this tank right here, and you can see heated water leaves right here and goes to a backup coil to make sure there's plenty of domestic hot
So
water.
for my showers, the primary source of heat is the sun.
That's free.
The second one is down here, which means the second source are these renewable pellets.
Renewable. Yeah.
And only if those two aren't enough does it ever call for the oil?
Yeah, and I'm told the system's working pretty good because this owner has not had that burner on in over a year.
It went through an entire German winter without using any oil?
That's right. And for him, it lets him hedge his bets a little bit. Say oil became less expensive than the renewable, he can make this the primary and this the backup.
I love this mechanical room even more now.
So beautiful.
Well, Kevin, welcome to Hill Country. There's a ski resort just over the mountain right here. But behind you can see this beautiful village all clustered together.
Beautiful.
It is. At the top of the hill, there's this, a bed and breakfast, also called a pension. And what they're doing in their mechanical room is really unique. Well, right off the kitchen is the mechanical room for this 10-room guest house.
Oh, spotless again.
Of course. And what they're doing here is something really different. It's actually called combined heat and power. They're heating the building, but at the same time they're making electricity.
And how are they doing that?
Inside this box is actually a gas generator. It's actually a gas engine. And what happens is, as the gas fires and there's a temperature difference, a piston goes up and down, up and down, up and down so fast that it generates electricity, about 1 kilowatt for every hour that it's on.
Okay.
Now that kilowatt of electricity can be used here in the building, or it can actually be sold back through the grid.
Oh, nice.
But one of the byproducts of this is extraordinary heat. So now that heat can be scavenged and used to good advantage. Comes up to a heat exchanger right here, and now it gets brought over to either fill this tank and heat this tank for water for the faucets upstairs for the bathrooms, or it can come over here through circulator pumps and mixing valves and be distributed out to the building to heat the building.
So that's a small little box, and you said there's 10 units upstairs.
That's right.
Can that thing make enough hot water and heat for the entire building?
It does pretty good. It's there, and if they need a boost, this boiler is here, but this only comes on about 7% of the time. It does most of the load.
So the system makes electricity, hot water, and heat for the rooms. In terms of efficiency, where does it stack up?
Really good. It's reduced the total energy footprint here between electricity and gas by about 30%.
Wow.
Paybacks in about 7 years.
Oh, these Germans are into everything. I'm impressed, Richard. I'm impressed to see all the different technologies being deployed and also to see sort of the adoption on part of the German people. How many people have embraced this. But do you think what's going on here in Germany will ever go on in the United States, at least to this level?
It's hard to know. There's a lot of things working against it. One is America is unlike Germany, that it has available fuel, natural gas and oil, and the price of gas continues to go down.
thanks to things like fracking, the price of natural gas is down 20% or more.
That's right. It's hard to have a payback there. The other thing in America is that people move. Every 7 to 9 years, they're looking for a new house. You know, I see a building like this, and I would predict that this family has lived here for 3, 4, 5
What?
generations. Certainly makes a lot more sense if you're going to talk about infrastructure like this solar, if you can have the payback for your kids and your grandkids. But I'm hopeful. Germany has proven that this technology works. They are the #1 user of solar in the entire
Wow.
planet. And the consumption story is pretty dramatic. Germany uses half per capita in the heating of homes or buildings versus Americans. That's pretty substantial. And people can get this technology if they want it now back in America.
Right. Well, I have heard you tell this Germany story for as long as I've known you, and it is great to finally see it and to be here with you.
Germans don't move from home to home. Why? Why is that? So if their children get married and want like start having children, they have to still live in the family house. Is the family house is that big? Wow. Like they are able to improve technologies, by maintaining a particular house for over a period of years, and it's really, really mind blowing. Um, Germans has invented so many things, and they are, according to this video, they are the major user of solar. So I'd like to know if you have solar in your house. Let me know in the comment section. Or do you still depend on gas? Thank you so much for watching my reaction. Do like, share, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and see you right in my next video. Bye.